with Tiller. In part 6 of our Getting Started with Tiller video series, we'll look at the debt payoff sheet. It's a simple yet effective dashboard for getting all your debts organized in one place with simple calculators to help you strategize how to pay it off. If you want to learn more about debt payoff with Tiller, visit tillerhq.com/debt. All right, in this video, we are going to talk through how to build your own custom debt payoff journey. So in order to get started with that, here in your foundation template, you can launch the Tiller Money Feeds add-on from the extensions menu at the top of your Google Sheet. So we'll choose Tiller Money Feeds here near the bottom. We're going to choose Launch. And this is specific to Google Sheets, but the same steps are applicable for Microsoft Excel. You just use the Tiller Money Feeds add-in for Excel to install the template. Here in the sidebar for Tiller Money Feeds in Google Sheets, we'll choose Add and Manage Templates. And that's going to load the list of available templates. This is a great tool for not only installing additional templates that are available and compatible with the foundation template for Tiller. It's a great way to restore templates. Let's say you broke something. We're not going to get into that, but you can do it here in the same feature in the add-on. So we'll go ahead and choose Install Template for the Debt Payoff Planner. And we'll wait about 20 minutes while it installs the template for you in your spreadsheet. Go eat some lunch, have a cup of coffee, maybe mow your lawn, and then eventually the template will be installed. All right, so now that we have the Debt Payoff Planner installed in the foundation template using the add-on, we can go ahead and get it set up. One thing to note is that you should go ahead and connect your debt accounts to Tiller. Probably already done that step, but just in case you haven't, you can connect them here on the Tiller console. If you don't have all your debt accounts already connected to Tiller, you can connect additional accounts here on the Tiller console, just using the Add Accounts button. And then just make sure that they are linked to your spreadsheet here. So once you're in the spreadsheet, a couple things you'll need to have available as you're getting the Debt Payoff Planner set up is the interest rate and the minimum monthly payment for each of those debt accounts that you would like to track with the Debt Payoff Planner. You can usually find those on the statements for those particular debt accounts, so just make sure that you have those handy as you're getting set up with this particular template. If for some reason any of the accounts that you would like to track you can't connect to Tiller for automated connections, you can use the manual accounts option here in the sidebar of Tiller Money Feeds to track the balances for those accounts. So this Debt Payoff Planner is completely based on the balances in the sheet, not the transactions at all. So it doesn't matter if the transactions are flowing, you can still use it to track your debt payoff. Even if you can't automate the transactions for those accounts or the balances, you can add them manually. So in the manual accounts tool here, we can see I have a couple loan accounts that I would like to track in this tool that I set up manually because I wasn't able to automate them with Tiller, for example. So just using that manual accounts tool, feel free to add those balances. So I don't need the add-on anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and close that. So the first step is to select the account from the account dropdown here. So I'm going to choose the student loan, and I'm going to go ahead and choose the RAV4 loan. I don't care too much about the credit card that's listed in here because it has a pretty low balance that gets paid off every statement. I really just care about paying down the debt for that student loan and that RAV4. So my student loan interest rate was about 4.5%, and that RAV4 is about 6.8%. The minimum monthly payment for that student loan is $150, and the minimum monthly payment for that RAV4 is about $600. So I've got all that filled in. The last step is to just activate each of these accounts and indicate that I would like to include them in my debt payoff journey. Once I've done that, I then need to go ahead and set a monthly payoff goal. So in this case, my minimums are, it looks like it's $750, which I also see here, $750. So I want to go higher than that. I don't want to just pay the minimum. I'm trying to pay this debt off faster. So I think I can probably put about $1,000 towards this debt. So I'm going to set $1,000 towards that monthly payoff goal. And then I've got this projected payoff date based on what I owe, the current balance here, as well as the interest rate and minimum monthly payment and that monthly payoff goal. So I can see August 2029 is when I'm projected to have this debt paid off. So this debt payoff planner sheet is awesome because it allows you to really play around with different scenarios for helping you understand when you might be able to pay off your debt, how much your debt is going to cost you. And so I highly encourage you to play around with those. So a few things you can do to really customize this and make it your own is to choose which method you would like to use to pay off your debt. Now, the Snowball method is by far the most popular method. It allows you to conquer your debt by paying off the lowest balance debt first. And so in this case, we can see that that would be, I think it looks like it's going to be the RAV4. So it's prioritizing that $1,000 monthly payoff goal by putting more towards it than the student loan payment. So we can see here $850 of that $1,000 goal is being put towards the RAV4, even though the minimum monthly payment is only $600. So Snowball is really popular because it allows you to see progress more quickly by focusing on that smaller balance. You're going to pay it off first. You're going to feel that motivation and excitement, like I finally got this debt paid off. It's just really motivating. The other option here is the Avalanche method. So the Avalanche method is the other option. It prioritizes the higher interest rate debt first to allow you to save money on interest rather than make a payment or pay off something faster. The last option for customizing your debt payoff journey is using the ranked method. And that is going to allow you to choose a custom rank to decide which debt you want to pay off first. And so you would just set that here in the rank column. You can order these just using numeric values based on the one that you would like to have prioritized as paid off first. And so that could be the most annoying debt or the most embarrassing debt, whatever makes sense to you. It really gives you the most control for customizing this debt payoff method. So we'll go back to the Snowball method just because that's the one that's most popular that folks often use, and just explore a little bit more the options for customizing this to pay your debt off even faster. So another way to kind of control how fast you're going to pay off the debt is by putting more towards the monthly payoff goal. So I've got $1,000 prioritized to pay off my debt right now, but what if I bump that to $2,000? What if I could spend an extra $1,000 a month paying off my debt? So if I update this to $2,000 here, so just to note, it goes from August 2029 to November 2026. That's almost 3 years that it shaves off just by spending $1,000 more each month toward debt. How do you find an extra $1,000 to spend toward paying off your debt? If you use the monthly budgeting features, it can really help you define how much you want to put towards paying off your debt. So a couple key things with this are you're going to want to have a category for debt payoff and a category for debt payment received. So this will also help you understand how to categorize transactions for those debts as well. And so we have this in a debt group, and we're going to categorize the debt payoff as an expense, and we're going to categorize the debt payment received as a transfer. And then we're going to set the debt payoff expense amount to that $2,000 because that's how much you're going to be putting towards debt every month in this scenario. The debt payment received doesn't really matter because it's not going to show up on the budgets. It's the money inflowing. We don't need to double count it or anything. So we don't actually have to set anything for that. If we head back to our monthly budget sheet, we see right now in our current scenario with that $2,000 going toward debt payoff, our planned cash flow is in the negative. So that's not a good situation. There's some adjustments that we need to make. If you're really invested in paying off your debt, the best way to do it is to cut spending in other areas to free up that money so that you could actually spend that $2,000 toward debt payoff. So if we head over to our category sheet, we just start cutting expenses elsewhere. There's a lot of discretionary spending that's here. That's money that we don't really need to spend. What are our absolute necessities that we need to spend money on? And that's where we focus our budgets. We set the budgets for those, and then we just clear out everything else, and we see how much we have left over. So if we go through here and we just start zeroing stuff out that we don't really need. We don't need those subscriptions. We don't need money for yard and gardens. Interest, that's income. We need, groceries is good. Restaurants, let's give ourselves a little bit of flexibility there. Set that to 100. No snacks and coffee. We're just, we're getting very strict with our money. Donations, let's try to keep that in there because we want to be giving. Stewardship, same thing. Insurance, we probably can't flex on that. Pharmacy also probably can't flex. The dog needs food, so we got to keep the food in there. The cell phone bill, maybe you can cut the cell phone bill. Call them, take out the kids line, something. Where else can we cut spending? We're still going to get married, so we probably can't cut the expenses too much there. We'll cut the gym membership, but keep the chiropractor. We'll cut the massages. So you can see there's a lot you can cut if you really want to get down to it. So what does that do to our monthly budget? Okay, it looks like we're still $490 below what we actually need. So right now, $2,000 isn't actually realistic for us. We've basically got that wiggle room, of like, maybe we can do $1,500. So if we change in our category sheet, if we change this to $1,500, let's just double check on our monthly budget. We've got $10 in planned cash flow. We'll just go with it because we're really trying to prioritize paying off debt. So we update this to $1,500. That's still, like 2 years less than the previous scenario where it was, August of 2029 or November of 2029 or something. So those are the ways that you can kind of play around with how to really customize this, how to understand how to use the budgeting features to help you decide what a good payoff goal is for each month. Once again, the prioritized payment amount is here. That's what you should be paying towards those debts if you're using this model to kind of stick to this date range, as well as seeing this estimated interest go down and the current monthly interest go down. This is going to change over time. As those balances go down, these amounts are also going to go down with them over time. And you'll start to see progress if you're just getting started with Tiller. You're only going to have the balances in the balances sheet for the time that you connected those accounts to Tiller. And so you won't see progress right away, but month after month, you'll start to see progress on how you're conquering your debt. So in our next video, we're going to talk about the Tiller community and all the solutions and templates that are available there that you can add into your spreadsheet to continue powering up your Tiller spreadsheet.